Sports 2 with Reggie Chatman.
Good evening, welcome back. I'm Reggie Chatman with your sports. Busy day in the Baton Rouge area today as three teams were in action on the basketball court, and in the nightcap, it was the Tigers taking on South Carolina, a team that came in without their head coach and multiple assistants because of COVID. Multiple players were also out as well for a team that really hasn't played very much basketball this season with so many different issues with the COVID season. And yet they came out ready to rock against LSU and made things really interesting for most of the night. Eric Gaines and the Tigers hosting South Carolina in just their sixth game of the year. I honestly just wanted to show that. I did not know Eric Gaines could do that. I also didn't know that South Carolina would come out playing so well. South Carolina jumped out to an early 11-point lead thanks to plays like that. LSU not boxing out led to a putback dunk. Then South Carolina's defense was also fantastic. 6 blocks on the day, 9 steals, forced 13 LSU turnovers, and they continued to build some sort of lead. And things felt pretty bad for the Tigers, and somehow they managed to only trail by 4 at the break. In the second half, Javonte Smart came alive after only scoring 1 point in the first half. That three-pointer gave LSU their first lead, 58-55. He finished with 15. Then LSU's defense finally showing up, getting a stop on one end right here. Then the outlet pass out to Trenton Watford, who honestly, we call that cherry picking on the playground, but what counts as 2 points, they gave him a 2-point lead. Then Cam Thomas, the closer with under a minute left, goes to work, somehow gets that bucket to go. What a performance for this Tiger team that managed to make the comeback work. They win it 85-80. The final, Cam Thomas finished with 25 points, while Trenton Watford's 23 were also big. This sets up the Tigers with a matchup against the top team in the conference, Alabama, on Tuesday, who comes in undefeated in SEC play. But for now, Tigers aren't worried about that just yet. They're focused on celebrating a tough win tonight out of the PMAC.
You know, it's tough to win in the SEC, and give Bruce and Coach Martin and their staff and their team a lot of credit. They were game from the get-go and ready to go, and you know, they played tremendously all night long, and we were just fortunate enough to be able to make some shots in the second half and make a few things happen.
They was making a few shots. They had a lot of fast break points off all turnovers. You try to stop all turnovers, slow all turnovers down, but just stay in attack mode. Even though we was turning the ball over, we just try to stay in attack mode and just pick it up on the defensive end on the other side of the ball.
All right, now across town, Southern hosting Arkansas Pine Bluff tonight in the Mini-Dome. The Jags having their fair share of COVID issues this year. They finally got their home opener tonight, and Sele caught fire, hit that three-pointer from the top of the key. The Jags take the lead. Then a little bit later, Sele one-on-one is the defender, knocks down the three-pointer in his face. That one is good as well, as three-pointers were back-to-back possessions in there. And then a little bit later, the Jags turning defense into offense. Andre Allen with the block starts the break, the ball movement. Delore Johnson to Brandon Brooks to Isaiah Rollins in the corner for that three-pointer. The Jags win it big in this one, and they continue on with their season going forward. And the Lady Jags were also in action today, also taking on UAPB. Picking things up in the second half, Kayla Watson leading the charge for the Jags here, finds Raven White underneath for the finish. That made it 23-17. Then a little bit later in the half, Chloe Fleming from the wing finds Cabria Lee underneath. This layup is good. She finishes there. The Lady Jags pull out themselves a 10-point win, 67-57, the final. Now switching gears to the NFL, when Tom Brady made the move to the NFC South, there was so much excitement surrounding the possibility of a Brady versus Drew Brees matchup in the playoffs. 306 days since Brady signed the dotted line, the prophecy will finally be fulfilled. All eyes will be on the oldest quarterback matchup in NFL history tomorrow, with a spot in the NFC Championship on the line. Winner gets to take on the winner of this matchup from earlier tonight. Packers hosting the Rams. Aaron Rodgers, he was special. Probably going to be the MVP of the league this season. He showed why tonight. 23 for 36, 296 yards and 2 touchdowns, and also that really pretty rushing score for the win. This second touchdown throw was for 58 yards to Allen Lazard, who dropped the touchdown earlier. He didn't drop that one. Packers win it big, 32-18 the final, which means the road to the Super Bowl will go through Lambeau Field, and it's going to be cold. I already checked the weather. It's going to be really cold out there for whoever decides to play the Green Bay Packers next week. Saints and Buccaneers would like the chance to do it. In 2 games so far, the Saints have 2 double-digit wins against the Buccaneers, and also Tom Brady is historically good in the playoffs. So this is going to be a matchup that everybody's going to want to see. Kickoff tomorrow is set for 5:40. All right, that's it for sports. We'll have more news right after this commercial break.